Okay. What's up, y'all? It's Ravage, your favorite Final Fantasy YouTuber that you'd never heard of, except today. Well, sorry about that. I had to move some stuff. Today, I'm talking about something that's not Final Fantasy. Now, for those of you who've been following me since the dawn of the channel that are here, my channel hasn't been around for very long. It's not very big. Yada, 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 whatever. Sizes and everything, it's how you use it. I'm still in the process of editing my last couple of Final Fantasy IV videos. For those of you who saw the new intro, that's one of the reasons it's taking so long. I've never worked with editing software like that before, so I'm a total noob at this. So it's going to be a while between episodes, and I've been thinking about what I can do to pad this out. And I was like, well, how about I just talk about Star Wars off the cuff? Because I'm good at that. And, well, I had an idea. And this idea hit me, and I had to record it immediately and just talk about this off the cuff. So, in recent months, the Darth Jar Jar theory has repopularized itself, right? And a conversation I was having a while ago with my friend Michael is I had just finished reading the Darth Bane trilogy. And phenomenal books, by the way. If you have not read them, go read them. They are amazing reads. Even the second book, it's kind of funny. In the second book, if somebody were to ask me what the plot is, I'd be like, not a whole lot happens, but it's a real page turner. You know? Anyway, so we're talking about the Darth Bane trilogy. And he goes, who do you think won that fight in the end? And I said, I'm positive it's Xana. I mean, essence transfer is Sith sorcery. Xana was much more powerful in Sith sorcery than Darth Bane. It had to be Xana who ended up winning the fight. Even though it is left very open-ended as to it could have been Bane who won the War of Wills. For those of you who don't know, Xana is Bane's apprentice. And Bane, Darth Bane, was the instater of the Rule of Two. And I say the instater instead of the enactor because he got the idea for the Rule of Two from Darth Revan. It's just Revan was never able to enact it. So Bane, realizing that the Sith had become a bunch of pansies, enacted the Rule of Two as a way to save the Sith from their own destruction. You know what? He was right. Like, if you read the books, he was right. The Rule of Two was the best move for them. And, Xana, his apprentice, when it came time for their duel for her to take the mantle of Dark Lord, they fought. And in a last-ditch effort to win the battle, Bane uses essence transfer, which destroys his body and leaves his essence in Xana's body, and he has to fight Xana's essence for dominance. The canon ending, as far as I know, is Xana wins because she doesn't answer to Darth Bane when she comes back from the essence transfer attack. However, my friend Michael said he had the headcanon after reading it when he was a teenager that Bane won. He won. And he was lying to Darth Cognis about being Darth Xana, and he was actually Bane. And he was just like, you know what, I'll just answer to Xana for the rest of my life because it's easier than explaining this shit. And he said his headcanon was always that Bane made it all the way up through all the Rule of Two Sith. They were all Bane. Like, he just essence transferred all of them at the end. Now, I know what you're thinking. But Ravage, we have all this lore that proves that there was no essence transfer at the passing of the mantle of Dark Lord. And to that, I say, shut up and go with it, okay? So, I'm going somewhere with this, though. Because I brought that up to Michael. I was like, well, that can't be a thing. We see when Darth Plagueis kills his absolutely milquetoast Sith master. I forget his name. Dude was boring as hell. He was a Bith. He should have stayed playing music in the Mos Eisley Cantina. Because, wow, was he a boring Sith. When Plagueis kills him, there's no essence transfer. There's no nothing like that. And he says, my friend Michael, he said that Sidious in his headcanon ended the Baneocalypse because Sidious just killed his master in his sleep, and that was where the Baneocalypse ended. Well, I'm going somewhere with all this because in recent months, the Darth Jar Jar series has gained a lot more popularity out of nowhere. Well, not out of nowhere. Ahmed Best reprised his role as a Jedi in The Mandalorian, and for those of you who don't know that that was a reprisal of his role, I encourage you to go rewatch The Phantom Menace. During the ending scene, I'm not good enough at video editing to have a clip in there, but maybe I'm just recording the audio raw and then I'll make the video after. Maybe I'll have a picture in there where, yes, Ahmed Best is on screen for like a second and a half as a Jedi. At least I'm pretty sure it's him. God, I hope that doesn't make me racist if I'm wrong. Anyway, so with the Darth Jar Jar theory, I've always gone ham with it. My friend Michael and I are actually writing a Star Wars fan fiction as we speak. And I would always joke about, we should put Darth Jar Jar in there. And then he was like, well, because I love the theory. And he goes, well, let's have Jar Jar as our big bad guy then. And I'm like, no, I can't do that in good conscience. Because at some point we do want to release this fan fiction into the Star Wars community and let come what may. Like, at this point we all know Star Wars fans are impossible to please. They will find anything to throw a tantrum about. I mean, we have people who swear up and down on the quality of the sequels now. Not the sequels. Nobody swears up and down on the quality of the sequels. People who swear up and down on the quality of the prequels now. When, after The Phantom Menace came out, Jake Lloyd got bullied so horribly he had to get put into, I think, homeschooling or private school. And the trauma that was inflicted on him from all the bullying left him with so many mental disorders and shit, and now everybody's like, oh, we always loved The Phantom Menace. No, you didn't. And you didn't always love the prequels. So, that's my opinion on the Star Wars fan base. Back to our regularly scheduled Darth Jar Jar talk, where Darth Jar Jar has regained popularity. And there was also a comic that led to Jar Jar's resurgence as Darth Jar Jar. And now he's even made an appearance in a Lego special, which is really cool. I love Lego Star Wars so much. But it kind of hit me. You know, Darth Plagueis hated the rule of two, right? So Bane never would have deemed him worthy as another successor. And then Darth boring Bith guy, I always forget his name. I always have to look it up whenever I'm talking about him, and I'm just talking about this off the cuff. So, if you like Plagueis' master, I apologize. I thought he was one of the most milquetoast Sith I'd ever seen. All we know is his master was a Twi'lek. We don't really know what happened to him, and we don't know who that Twi'lek's master was. I think at some point, Bane branched off. He no longer deemed the Sith worthy. And so the Baneocalypse was never ended. The Baneocalypse is still very much alive. You see, Darth Bane is still alive. He just goes by a different name now, and he's a much different species. He is now a Gungan by the name of Jar Jar Binks. Now, I know what you're saying, but Ravage, you have nothing to tie all this together. Like, okay, so sure, there are these huge gaps in Sith history that we have no idea what happened, and maybe Bane somehow essence transferred from there, but didn't Cognis kill Xana? Like, you're missing so many things. Well, look, first of all, shut up, stop using logic. Second of all, we have Darth Vectivus, and Darth Vectivus died of old age and never had an apprentice. What if he didn't die? What if he just never took an apprentice because he couldn't find one worthy? What if he had to reset the rule of two, and when he died of old age, he actually essence transferred, and the next Sith took over? Or even, I think this one makes more sense. This just occurred to me, and this way makes way more sense. Disregard everything I just said. Maybe Vectivus is where the Sith branched off. You know, the guy before Vectivus just wasn't worthy. And so Bane essence transferred into who would become Darth Vectivus, and that's where the Bane line continued. And Bane, after Vectivus died, he essence transferred again and kept going all the way down until finally Darth Bane was Jar Jar Binks. Now, okay, so I don't actually believe any of this. I want to preface that. I know Jar Jar's canon story. I know he's not actually force sensitive. He was just able to wield a lightsaber with no explanation, yada, yada, yada. But I've always enjoyed the Darth Jar Jar theory. And after hearing my friend Michael's theory about Darth Bane, and then it kind of hit me, Darth Vectivus, he never had an apprentice. What if that's where the line splits? What if that's where Bane strikes out on his own? And then he comes back when a Sith who is a devout believer of the rule of two and is actually the culmination of all of Darth Bane's goals that he set when he created the rule of two. He comes back to give that man emergency powers because he realizes the Sith time is now. Oh, that voice crack was awful. Now. There we go. That's better. That's better. But yeah, I just wanted to share that little theory with you guys, I guess. Go ahead and rip me apart in the comments, you Star Wars fans, you. Tell me how dumb my theory is. Boost my algorithm with those comments. Tell me how much you hate it. And those of you who like it, argue with those guys. Tell them how wrong and big dumb duty heads they are for not agreeing with everything I say Star Wars, because everything I say about Star Wars is factual. You see, I am a true Star Wars fan, and I am the only one who can be right about Star Wars as a result. Anyway, I want to thank y'all for listening. This has been Ravage, and I hope this was very entertaining for you. Catch y'all in the next Final Fantasy upload.